say welcome home.
Welcome. Yeah. So
Gary, you need welcome to that.
welcome home, Mr. President. Dr. Motsepe, you basically made your stance clear, reiterated your stance on the two things, the Super League and the biennial World Cup. However, I'd like to know, since the idea of the Super League was rooted in Europe, nobody, especially in Africa, has given a concrete plan about how it will work. You have always never said what in your plan, not what the Price Waterhouse or anything, what in your mind, as president of CAF, as the businessman who knows the numbers, what do you think will be the numbers for the African football clubs? Because in Europe, when the idea was mooted, we knew in millions, hundreds of millions, what each club was going to get. What in your mind, if you could tell us directly, is your plan? How many teams do you want in it? How much money do you want them to add? How much do you want them to get?
That's very, very good question.
Yes.
Let me give an example. We have to address 20,000 workers. 20,000 workers. Not just workers, mine workers.
Sure.
And you know, mine workers, you must be careful what you say, you know, because they get very, very. If you want to say, I love you, and you take too long before you say, I love you, they assume that you don't know where you stand. So the point I'm making is that one of the things is, there is in order for the end product to be accepted by everybody, there has to be a consultation and involvement. And what I said about the Super League is, you know, we are learning from some of the things that they did in Europe, which was not correct. And that is, you should get every nation that is, even those that may not have a club, they've got to be part of the discussions, they've got to give their input, they've got to understand why we want the Super League, they should give us their comments. I'm clear in my mind, very, very clear. African football needs resources. It needs financial resources, it needs infrastructure. One of the most important tools we have is new competitions. So I just want to say to you that we will make, there's discussions underway, there's consultation, and at the right time, when we have heard everybody's input and everybody's advice, including the potential sponsors, the TVs, and those countries that may not be involved, we will make an appropriate announcement. So it's a short to medium term strategy we have there.
Right, and then the follow-up was that currently, as you know, even the best African football players in the world are doing well, but they are complaining about the congested fixture schedule. And even as of now, they are literally begging, their bodies are begging for some rest. I was saying a couple of weeks ago that if you take our top 5 players like Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Riyad Mahrez and others, they've not had a proper rest in 4 years. And if things go the way they are, for another 3 years, we will not rest. So my simple question is this. If you support a biennial World Cup when we already have a 2-year Africa Cup of Nations, where, as CAF president, do you want us to place it in the calendar?
You are asking, and if you've got a radio station, I want to listen to it. If you've got it, is that so? I'm going to listen to it all over the continent. Now let me tell you a very brilliant question. You know Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger is advising us on this process of the World Cup every 2 years. And part of that process involves a review of the football calendars and to ensure that the players actually play less football and not more. They play less football. So there's discussions taking place, and Arsene Wenger has made a lot of presentations to us, and there's a study that's being conducted by FIFA, and I can assure you, because we have a duty to come and talk to the presidents of the member associations of CAF, and the president of Ghana is not just president of Ghana. They've shown confidence in his exceptional leadership. He is president of the regional football, WAFU. WAFU B. Yeah. He's the president of WAFU B because all of the countries neighboring have shown confidence in him. Said, but he's a special leader. We've got confidence in him, and that's why I also want him in CAF, because I want the best in CAF. So we will. I mean, those questions you're asking, absolutely legitimate, and we'll come back, because we've got to report, we've got to account, and we've got to show you why the World Cup every 2 years is highly beneficial for the players, for football in the world, and of course, as I said, for us in Africa, it's highly beneficial to us as well.
Okay, 2 more questions.
The name Bengali is Aniki anyway. My name is Benjamin.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, Bengali is Aniki.
My driver's name is Beirut. So one day they said, why have you got a driver called Beirut? But that's his nickname.
Welcome again, Mr. President. Now, the question is this. From your background, now with football and with club, what do you see as the biggest problem with African football? And how are you tackling that or solving that for Africa? And number 2, after all is said and done with your tenure as president of CAF, what is the biggest legacy you want to leave behind for CAF?
Accra's Benghazi.
Well, Accra is special. Let me start with the second question, which was the legacy. The first question was...
First question was...
the biggest problem.
The biggest problem of African football.
Yeah. Let me tell you something that's very important. We have to get particularly our young people in Africa. It is so important. Our young people in Africa, and this is based on our experiences worldwide, the things we see, the people we interact with, because our duty is to Africa, We've got nothing else. It's to our people in the continent. Of course, we've got a duty to the rest of the world as well. But we've got to encourage our young people to say, the people of Ghana, the people of Senegal, the people of Nigeria, the people of Africa, we have to work together. We will succeed on our own, but there are certain things in the world we cannot do on our own. And we don't want people to talk to Ghana and Ghana is on its own, or to talk to Senegal and Senegal is on its own. We want the people to talk to the whole of the continent, because when we are together, we have so much of a bargaining, negotiating power in football, in business, in everything. So, as far as football is concerned, I can assure you that with Kurt and the leadership we have in this country, and the test of, I was listening this morning to what Kurt was saying. If you look at what has happened in football, there was a normalization committee in this country. The people in the private sector did not want to support Ghana football. How can the private sector not support football in Ghana when some of these companies are from outside Ghana, make a lot of money in Ghana? So if you make a lot of money in Ghana, it's good for your business to give back, to support football, and to show the people of the country that I am also committed to the things that you love and that you're passionate about. So in terms of the legacy, and I don't want to call it my legacy, because a leader never creates a legacy on his own. A leader creates a legacy based on the privilege and the honor he has with working with exceptional people. And the test there is to see in what condition is African football when I'm gone. And that's why you don't prepare for African football when there's a new leader. You prepare for it whilst you are there. And make sure that Because you must understand, when I'm an old man already. You look at football, you want to look at it with pride and say that my brother Kurt, my brother the vice president, the leadership, all of us together made a humble contribution to make football in Ghana better. Because when football in Ghana is better, I was saying, if Kurt is weak, if Kurt is a weak leader in Ghana, I am weak. As the president of CAF, I'm weak. If the leadership of CAF, of football in Ghana is weak, football in Africa is weak. So we've got a big stake and a big interest in making sure that Kurt succeeds, the leadership of football in Ghana succeeds, because when you succeed, I succeed, CAF succeeds, African football succeeds.
Mubarak. Yes.
In Rwanda, he said corporate bodies are reluctant to partner CAF. What was the state of CAF then, and what has changed now? The second question is, you made mention that there will be an increment in the prize money for the African Cup of Nations. How far with that? Thank you.
Very good, because I tell you, part of the problem is, and I don't want to talk about any country, the football team, the nation does well. They come to this, they qualify from the quarterfinals, and then there's problems. Because money was promised, which is not available, or there's more money that is required, and the leadership says, we've already promised money, we don't have, where are we going to get more money? So one of the things we're looking at is to say that no matter what happens, there's a certain price that's going to go to the players and the coaching staff that wins. Now that I want to keep that separate from the other prize money. We need to, and there are discussions taking place, because we want to make sure that the players go there knowing already from day one. If you tell Messi or Ronaldo, I'm going to give you another $1 million, it means nothing. If you say to a football player playing for Asante Kotoga or playing for Hearts of Oak or Dreams, and tell him, I've got another. I must be careful what I say here. I've got another $50,000 or $80,000 for you if you qualify. I mean, it's so there's no discussions. I know, even before I became president of CAF, I know of nations from Africa where the players wanted to leave. They wanted to leave at the World Cup. They wanted to leave at the African Nations Cup. I know, because I've been owning a football club for 20 years. And the club that I own, won the league in South Africa for the last 4 years. They've been champions there. So we know players, and you must be careful, because players, I can work for the next, I don't know. Assume I'm 40 years old or 30 years old. I've got a job for the next 30, 40 years. A football player, you've got a short future. You can only work for those number of years whilst you play. So what I always have told football players that come to play in the club that the family owns from day one, listen to me. If you can get more money in another club, go. But what we are going to do is we're going to make sure that whilst you're with us, we pay you more money than you can get anywhere else. And please take that money. I know some of you like a BMW, a Mercedes-Benz and whatever, it's fine. But take some of that money, save it. Because you are not going to play football for the rest of your life. So going back to this issue, the question you're asking about...
prize money for Afcon.
Yeah, I've said the prize money. There was another one before.
And you said in Rwanda...
are reluctant to partner CAF.
You mean the sponsors?
Yeah.
Yes, they were reluctant. They were reluctant because it's unbelievable. People who came to work in CAF would sign sponsorship agreements for CAF with companies that they are associated with. And those people who are in those companies leave those companies to come to CAF. So money used to go, money that was meant to develop football in Africa, that was meant for CAF, went in the pockets of agents, third parties, advisors. So the corporate world gets to know about these things. And of course, some of them went to court. There's a legal case now between a big legal case between CAF and Lagadier. And we are trying to resolve those issues. So, and the other thing as well is you need to make sure that there's, you audit your books every year and give it publicly. You need to make sure that there's governance. You need to make sure that there's ethics. You need to make sure that there are fair rules and procedures, because once you've got those things, the private sector says, and that's why I'm saying, soon after I was elected, many people in the private sector came and said, we are so happy, we want to support, but going back to your question, all the competitions have already got sponsors. I have to sell. What do I sell? I sell competitions. I sell world-class football. I sell football that people all over the world want to watch. Why do you watch European football? Why do you watch Messi? Why do you watch Ronaldo? Because they are special players. I want you to watch a Michael Essien as a young boy. Give him a chance. Watch him in Ghana. Watch him in Africa. But don't say to him, you are going to get very small money in Africa. So part of the process is we want African football to compete as far as salaries and wages are concerned with the best in the world. So young boys who can go and play in Sweden, in Belgium, in other parts of Europe, if they can get that money here in Ghana, you know what happens? They stay in Ghana. It's very cold there. It's cold. The weather there is very cold. They'd much rather stay here, and it's good for football, and it's good. So we want to build all of these things. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I finally just really, with all humility, want to ask the whole leadership under my brother Kurt, I say with humility, can they all stand up? Let's clap hands for them for the wonderful work they do. Let's stand up. Thank you so much. And also thank you so much for the media. We are so grateful, and thank you for those questions that you asked, because we have a duty to communicate to our people through yourselves, and you must ask all of these questions. Thank you so much. God bless you.
So, Doctor will leave us
Thank you.
as we come to the end of the session. He's got other things to do. We will